Nita, any
Yes,
idea?
abstract class is a special type of class, means which contains at least one abstract method.
Then what is the abstract method?
Means in abstract method we cannot create. There is no implementation. Only definition part is there.
Only
Mean,
definition part is here.
yeah, we
Okay,
cannot create any object of abstract class.
all right, got that. So let's say in ABAP system, abstract class is a special type of class. Is a special type of class which cannot be instantiated on its own. First thing, they cannot be instantiated on its own. Instead, it serves as a blueprint for the other classes. What does it means? It means that using this abstract class, we can create the child classes of, we can take this abstract class as a parent class. So if I have to understand this, let's take an example. For example, so I have to build a car. Let's say I have to build a car. Right? So what are the features I will need? Features I will need. First thing is I will need a vehicle class, right? Vehicle class, that it is a vehicle. It will have an engine. It will have an engine, right? It will have a driver seat. This vehicle class will be inherited by a four-wheeler class, or let's name it four-wheeler vehicle. I'm just trying to explain it so that you can relate it easily. So it will be inherited by a four-wheeler vehicle, so that this vehicle, whatever, if you are creating any object for this four-wheeler vehicle, all those objects will only have four wheels, right? And they will have engine and driver seat also. Then finally you can inherit this into a car class. So car will have all these two features. Then using the car class, now you can inherit to the either BMW, Mercedes, or you can inherit to Tata's Nano also, right? Anything. So the concept of abstract class is, instead of instead of directly creating any object, we will never create a object for the vehicle class directly, because it do not have complete feature. It is just a blueprint. Using this, we will create a child class. Now for this we can create an object. For this we can create an object, right? For this we can create an object. That is a abstract class definition. So to increase the reusability, we have created one super class. This super class will serve as a blueprint for other ones, right? Then this abstract class is a special type of class again, class which has at least one abstract method, and it can have any number of non-abstract methods. Any number of non-abstract methods. For example, here again, let's take the same example. So before that, I will explain the abstract method, then we will relate it with our car class. So abstract method is a special type of method. A special type of method where there will only be definition, but there will not be any implementation. Any implementation. Any implementation here. So if you check this one, let's say here I have created one method. The method is number of wheels. Okay, I have created a method number of wheels. Okay, now this vehicle, once it was inherited in a, let's say, truck class, so that truck might have 18 wheels or 14 wheels or 10 wheels according to their requirement. But when it came into this four-wheeler vehicle, now we have implemented the logic as we will only have four wheels, right? This will be used as a car now. So same stuff is there. So abstract method is a method where there will be no implementation and only definition of the method will be there. Only the definition of the method is given and no implementation is given there. We cannot create any object of the abstract class. We cannot create any object of the abstract class. However, we can create the objects of the children of the abstract class. Abstract class. Children here simply means child classes or subclasses. Here you can create it and you can utilize the features of the abstract class. This is how they are implemented. Alright, so let's see that part according to our SAP terminology. Again, I think this has been logged out. Yes. So I will go there. Now this time let's go for global class. I will create here abstract class. Abstract class. Okay. And I will go for creation. It's already there. So another one. Class. Sort description. Abstract class. Okay. Now you see this. In the instance generation section, you can mark your class as a abstract. You can mark your class as a abstract. Okay. I'll remove this final then and I'll go for save. Package and transport request. Now this is my abstract class method. Okay. Here I will define one method as abstract and one as non-abstract. So let's say here I am defining get sales order. I will give here the label as let's make it instance only, and this one as public, right? This one as public. Also, if you want to mark it, you can mark it accordingly. You can directly click on this one and you can here mark your method as abstract, final, or anything. It's up to you only, right? So I'll make this one as abstract here. So you can see implementation of method get sales order deleted. As soon as I mark this method as abstract, its implementation got deleted automatically. Okay, let's go for it. And oh, sorry, description I have not given. Let me just give it again. Get sales order. Right now we cannot have a implementation for it. So if I will go in the backend, how it is looking, let's check it. So this method is a abstract method now. This class is a abstract class now. You cannot create any object of it directly, right? Let's define another method here. So let's say display material. and this one as also instance public material. This time I will have the implementation here. So double click here. I will do some implementation. So what should I say here? Let's directly display it here. Select Matner, MTART, MBRSH, Matcal, mains, new syntax. I am not using it. We have not learned yet. So mains from Mara table. Okay. I will create here a local structure. So types begin of ty Mara, Matner, type Matner, MTART type material type, MBRSH industry sector, then material group, right, and basic unit of measure also, end of ty Mara. Get the internal table and work area here, LT Mara, type table of ty Mara, and then ls Mara, type ty underscore Mara. Normal implementation here. So from Mara into table LT Mara, let's say up to 10 rows, and I will simply do the display here. So loop at LT Mara into ls Mara. This is what we do, our traditional ABAP programming, and loop and write statement ls Mara Matner ls Mara MTART ls Mara MBRSH ls Mara Matcal and ls Mara MEINS. Let me check any error. After means, okay, comma is not given. No issue on that part, right? Normal implementation. So this is your abstract class. You can have here any number of non-abstract method and any number of abstract method also. But at least one abstract method is mandatory. Now let's go and check how our original code is looking in the behind scene. So you can see here, this is a abstract method. This is a non-abstract method here, right? And we also have our implementation, so class implementation section, and here we are implementing our display material. But this has been implemented in the global class pool, so we can call it from anywhere, right? So I will go and create one program here, Z abstract class, abstract class. Now let's try to create the object of our abstract class. Let's try to create the object of our abstract class here. This is my class name. I will simply copy it, and here I will try to create the object of it. So data lo underscore obj is equal to new keyword, class name, and let's check for the syntax. Instance of the abstract class cannot be generated. Can you see this, right? We cannot generate the instance or object of a abstract class. Instead, what we can do, we can create a child class here. So class, child class, definition, end class, and inheriting from this class is inheriting from our abstract class. This is inheriting from the abstract class. Now one important stuff, when you will inherit from the abstract class, it is mandatory to redefine the abstract method. Is mandatory here, otherwise it will give error. You can check it. If I will go for syntax, the redefinition of this get sales order is missing, right? So redefinition section is mandatory. I will define my public section here, and methods get sales order redefinition. Now it will ask for the implementation, so I will implement it. Class, child class, implementation, right, end class, and here we will have our implementation section. So method get sales order, end method. Okay, I will simply display here, select Veblen, Posner, Matner from VBAP line item table into table LTVBAP, and where let's say up to 10 rows. Normal implementation here. Then I will simply display it. So loop at LTVBAP into LSVBAP and loop, and I will simply display it. So write statement Veblen, Posner, and material number. 3 columns from VBAP table I am taking. These are the first 3 columns that you will always see in any VBAP table, right? Veblen, Posner, and Matner. I am taking these 3 columns here. Now I will define here the internal table. So types begin of ty, let's say VBAP, Veblen type data element. So Veblen, Posner type data element, Posner, and material number type data element. So Matner type data element, end of ty underscore VBAP. Data LTVBAP type table of ty underscore VBAP, and LSVBAP type ty underscore VBAP. Oh, SC24 on this one. I need to release the log first. Yeah. Activate. Okay, so get sales order is done. We need to just create our structure. So begin of ty VBAP Vablin, type Vablin VA, item number, type item number underscore VA, and material number, type material number. By VBAP. I will create the internal table and work area. So LT VBAP, type table of by VBAP, and then the work area also, type TY underscore VBAP. Okay, we have declared everything. Let me check if there is any error. No error. Now what we can do is we can simply go for our start of selection event, and here I will create the object now of my child class. So LOBJ, new keyword, child class, right? And I will simply display my methods. So get sales order and display material. This display material we have already implemented, right, inside our child class. We have already implemented inside our child class display material. We have already written the logic. Sorry, in our parent class, which is our abstract class, we have already implemented, and I am just using it inside this child class. So now I will check, execute, see, display material and sales order. Sorry, VBAP data and material master data. Are we getting it or not? Sunita?
Yes, sir. Very busy.
Yeah, right. Any question on this topic?
Yeah, actually, in global class,
Yeah.
how we can this one is abstract method and this one is normal method.
How you can check it? That's
Yeah.
what we did now. We marked it. Click on this properties tab. And here I have marked this as abstract. But if you will go and check this one, see,
This one,
nothing is
okay.
marked, right?
And for abstract class, always need to create child classes, right?
Yeah, child class is mandatory.
So it's working with mm, mm, mm. Oh,
Like,
inheritance, working with inheritance.
this is just a parent class. Its definition, if you check, instead it serves as a blueprint for other classes.
Yeah.
Using this class, we will create the child. That's what I have taken. Na? This is your abstract class here. I have defined one method, number of wheels. If I am using it in a truck, I will make it 18. If I am using it in a car, I will make it 4. If I am using it in auto, I will make it 3.
Yes, yes. Right.
Now, along with abstract classes, here you see that we have got, we need at least one abstract method. But another concept is interface. Very important. Interface related to abstract only. So this is an interface only. This is not a class. Whatever thing you know about an interface, the same stuff you can apply over this object-oriented interface concept. An interface is a blueprint of the class. It is a blueprint of the class. Then you cannot create any object for the interface, right? You cannot create any object for the interface. Then what we see here is, what is the difference between interface and the abstract class, right? So in our abstract class, we can have at least one abstract method and any number of non-abstract method. Non-abstract method is a method which we can have any implementation. But if you talk about your interface, but in case of interface, we cannot have any implementation. All the methods are by default abstract. All of them are by default abstract. You cannot have any implementation. Another thing that you see, abstract class is a class where we can define the methods as public, protected, or private. But in case of interface, all the methods are by default public only. All the methods are by default public, right? Also in interfaces, also when we implement the interface, there is no need to click on the redefinition button. You click on the redefinition button, you can directly write the logic, because by default you will have to write the logic. And one of the most important thing using interfaces, we can implement the multiple inheritance. If you all recall, what was the feature of multiple inheritance? We cannot have multiple parents, right? This was the main reason of all these things. Inheritance. But what interface says, you can have any number of interfaces here. So let me just show that part again. I will go to AC24. I will open my abstract class only. And here if you check the interface section, you can see we can add here any number of interfaces, right? So you can implement this multiple inheritance concept by using interfaces only in ABAP system or in Java system also, right? So I will do the same thing. I will create one class for me. I'm going to simply create one class. This time interface. Okay. Interfaces. Type as executable. Not caption. Okay. Now what you can do is, I will create here interface first. So my interface, I will name it sales order and interface. This is interface 1. And in this interface, I will define my methods. So I will use my previous method only, SE38, display, oh, not this thing, the class name, abstract class, yeah, sales order. Okay, so I will define here one method, get sales order. By default they are abstract, they are by default abstract, we don't need to mark anything here. Then I will create another interface. So interface, this time let's say material master and interface, and I will use the another method which we have implemented directly inside the abstract class. What is its name? Display material. Right. So two things are here. Now I will create my class. So class, local class, definition, and class, end class. Okay. Now inside it, this is a normal class. You can have your public section, and inside a public section you can define anything. You can have protected section and you can have private section, right? Also, now you can include your interfaces directly here. Interfaces. You can directly include all the interfaces that you want. So I want to include get sales order, get sales order. I want to include display material. No, oh, sorry. That is a method name. I need this interface name. So sales order and this material master. Okay, just use it. Interface, I'm just using this one, right? Then we need to implement it, otherwise system will ask for it. There is no implementation because you have two methods inside them. Implementation is mandatory. So class, local class implementation, and class. Now here the scenario is completely different. Your method name will be a little bit different. Method, your interface name, then tilde operator, and after that you will pass the name of the method. This is how they are called if the method has been implemented inside a interface. This is how they are called here. Then method, the second one, material master, tilde operator, and the method name, which is display material this time, right? And method. Now similarly you can write the logic here. So again I will go back to the previous program and I will do the logic for my VBAP. So copy this thing and I will paste it here. I will bring the logic, so Veblen, and up to displaying the data. I will paste it inside the get sales order. That means any error, no error. Then I will go inside the class and I will bring the logic for display material also. So definition section, let's copy and paste it here, and the implementation section also. So I will paste it this time inside the display material. Normal thing, right? So let's check for any syntax. There is no error. Pretty printer. Once it is done, I can create the object directly. So the same thing. Instead of this child class, I will give my class name. So local class. And this one will change to again the same stuff. It will be your interface name first. So what is the interface name? Where it is? Sales order, get sales order. This time this one. Sales order, tilde operator, get sales order. And then it will be material master, tilde operator, display material. Right? Same thing. Check it. Same output. Yes, we are getting the same output here. Right? We are getting the same output here. The beauty of this interface is you can have multiple implementation. Just see this. I am using this interface here inside this class and I am able to use multiple inheritance using this interface concept. You can use this interface in any other class also. For example, let's say I'm using here child2 class. So class child this time, definition and class. And class, I have a public section and I'm again using the interfaces. So not methods, interfaces. And I will use my, let's say, material master interface here. You can do that. You can have a separate implementation. Earlier I displayed Mara table. Now I can display MAKT table also. Class child implementation and class. And here in it, so my method, material master, tilde operator, display material. Now you can display your material master here. Some other logic, right? Is this the same? Wait. Only methods can be defined. Class implementation. What is the issue I have done here? Oh, got that. We have made a mistake. Our this is end class child implementation. We have made a mistake a little bit. Let me just remove this. Yeah. It will be outside of the class. Yeah, this thing. Now just see this. No error will be there. By mistake, I have written it in my first class only. That's why that error got. So you can use this interface concept in any way as you prefer. Are you getting my point? What I am trying to explain here? This interface concept. Yes, and Sunita?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir. Need to do one practice.
Yes. Practice part is very, very crucial. ABAP is all about that. After 10 days, you will forget everything.
Yeah.
So these are some of the most important properties and highly used in interview concept. That's why I always try to relate it with your real world only. If you will try to take example of only the SAP concept, you will never understand these things. Always try to find them in your surrounding. Then and only then you will be able to relate it, how it is getting used in our day-to-day life.
Yes.
So I hope I was able to explain this, some of the basic concept. One two topic I will also take from this object oriented, then we'll move on to OData part. So another one is events here, object oriented ABAP. Any idea on this? Events. Okay, what is a event? Normal question, not object oriented. What is a event?
Perform any actions.
Perform any action. Now let's see this. I went to my SAP system, I clicked on back button. It got logged out. Okay, there is some issue in this internet connection. Now I clicked on this cancel button. What is happening here? When I clicked on this, I performed a action. Because of that action, something was raised, and to handle it, a logic was triggered, right? This logic is saying us to, do you want to log off out of your SAP system? This is what actually happening here now. And when I clicked on yes, I was able to come out of it, right? So if I go and check this screen, system status, GUI status here, I can see that we have got some logic implemented here for all this function code. You have worked on module pool programming, you know all these things, right? So event is always triggered when the user performs any action or a special time has been reached. For example, just leave your SAP system for 4-5 minutes, it will be automatically logged out, right? To save the billing of your company. So event is always triggered when the user performs any action. Action can be anything. Scrolling of mouse double click, anything. It can be anything based on that. So two ways are there, either user is doing something or the time has been reached automatically, right? Now if we talk about our object oriented concept, how event is here. So using events in object oriented programming, method of one class can call the method of another class, What does it means? That is, we are writing some logic in one class, so method of one class can call the method of another class, right? Also for events, we will have to raise the event and then we will have to handle it. Raise the event, that is what actually happening when I clicked on back button. Oh. So when I'm clicking on any button here, a event is raised by me, right? A event I am raising here. So for that event, SAP has written a standard logic for it in the behind of this screen. That logic is getting triggered there. So that is the event handler logic, right? That logic is saying that do you want to log off? I said no, I do not want, right? So for every event, just go for your normal classical report. You see start of selection is there. So when you are clicking on execute button, automatically your output screen is coming, right? How it is coming? So you clicked on, you raise the event in the behind, SAP has written the logic for start of selection, that if anyone will click on this execute button, entire program will be executed, operation will be done, it will be calculated, right?
Yes, yes.
So same stuff is there if you are raising something, and this is very, very important in object oriented also. A note I am writing it here, that one of the most important rule in object oriented programming is, if something is something is raising or triggering, then we will must have to handle it, must have to handle it. We will must have to handle it. This is very important rule, very important rule here. Now let's discuss our steps that we see here. So steps for event handler, how we do the event, and in case of our object oriented, steps for event handling. So there are mainly 3 steps for event handling. In object oriented ABAP, first one will be your triggering method, second one will be your event handler method, and the third one will be register the event handler, register the event handler using the set handler statement. In ABAP system, steps are very, very crucial. If you remember from last like 5 years, if you are working, you would have realized that we are doing the same thing again and again: declaration of structure, taking input, writing some logic, committing the changes, and finally displaying the output. So steps are very, very crucial for ABAP system. Same stuff you are doing here also: triggering method, event handler method, and then register the event handler. So this triggering method, a method which will raise the event, or a method which will be raising the event, will be called as a triggering method. Triggering method which will raise the event, or a method which will be raising the event, will be called as a triggering method. Then this is event handler method. This event handler will be in a different class, event triggering will be in a different class. This is the definition of an event. In object oriented programming, method of one class can call the method of another class. So this triggering method will call the method of this class, and this will be event handler. So method which will handle the event, which will handle the event. Okay, which will handle the event. So its implementation part we will see in the next class. There we will also move on to our ALV concept, and then we will try to end this chapter. Okay, so this is all for today.